Hi everyone, in this video we're going to do a short introduction into model preparation for slicing. The first thing you're going to need to do when you open your slicer is insert the model that you're trying to 3D print. We're going to go Add and locate that model. In this case I'm going to go to the desktop and then temp folder and select my swatch holder. In this situation the swatch holder is probably not oriented correctly, and though it is small enough to fit on the build plate, I'm going to change its size slightly with a couple of the tools. The first tool you've got on the left hand side is Move. This enables you to simply move and drag it around along the axes X, Y, Z. The second main tool you have is Scale. This will allow you to modify the scale in any axes or all axes. Generally, what you would suggestably do is select the scale percentage here in the object manipulation tool and just give it a number. When you do it in this location, it will do all of them relative. So if I change it to 110%, it'll change it to 110% in every axis. So it keeps it constant and in the same size in all directions. The final couple of tools we've got is Rotate. As the name suggests, it allows you to rotate. If you hover your mouse over these lines, it'll snap to those lines, which is really handy. You also have this button, which is called Place on Face. It automatically tries to pick up the flat surfaces on your item. You'll notice that it's got some very small faces here from the chamfers. We probably don't want to use those as the faces to place flat down, so I'm going to use the flat bottom surface here with the legs standing up into the air. I believe that chamfer should be able to be printed as is. Finally, if you needed to cut your design in two pieces, you've got that tool. Selecting the appropriate Z plane, you can then perform cut. You've got some options around keeping or removing some of the parts and rotating some of the lower parts upwards. If you click perform cut, you can see it makes those two sections separate, which can be handy if you've got something a little bit complicated or needs to be split in half. Selecting edit and undo, Control Z. Control Z doesn't actually work on a slicer. You have to redo it if you do something like a cut. So I'm going to just insert that again, and I'm going to use the Object Place on Face tool. That's the orientation I wanted. It looks pretty good, and that's usually all you need to do to get everything organized. If you want to add multiples of something, you can select Copy, and then you can select Paste, and it will paste a few extras. Repeating is obviously preferable. Clicking the Arrange tool will arrange them so they're not overlapping, and then you can also delete those using the trash can button. Finally, just in preparation for slicing, I'd suggest you double check whether you have Simple, Advanced or Expert settings selected. For the most case, you're only going to need Simple. And that's the end of the preparation for slicing. Next video we'll look at actual slicing processes as well as some of the settings that go along with that. Thanks for watching.